and for supplying that awesome buffet. I hope everybody's bellies are full, but not too full, because we got a whole lot more food for you today. Not the physical food, but in the spiritual food, some mental food for you. Also, I'd like to thank RBG Events, Red, Black, and Green Events, for bringing Dr. Umar. I'd like to thank Empress T for putting this all together. And last but not least, thank yourselves. Give yourself a round of applause for being so beautiful, for being able to come here today. There are a lot of people who wanted to be here but could not. I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Ms. Mocha. And tomorrow our third event will be at the Phoenix Center for the Arts over on 7th Street in McDowell. And Dr. Umar will be speaking there as well. We also have a lineup of some awesome artists, some poets, some singers, some game changers. So if you'd like to come out tomorrow, we start at 12 o'clock, we end at 6. There will be vendors, there will be refreshments, and there will be lots and lots of knowledge. I wanted to start out with a quick poem. I don't presume to know your intelligence level because it may be beyond the depths of my understanding. Therefore, I have no right to measure. Your impression impressed me as the flower of your imagination unfolded and revealed its parts to me, and I was pleasantly contradicted. We partook of the earth as we orally traveled and mentally gathered around my garden where I was once known by many names. We drank from the Nile and made angels in the sand. Telling me lies as I misled myself, I coveted the message that was passed down to me. It dripped from my ears and eavesdropped and became jealous. Goosebumps running down my spine trying to win this race against your touch, but it wasn't your physical touch. It was your mental touch. It was your spiritual touch. I was hungry and you fed me. Not willing to go further, you forced me to challenge me. And I fought a losing battle where I was my greatest competitor. I then deceived myself in a motive of treachery as I obeyed that new master obediently and relayed his message regretlessly. I attempted to stay inside the box and cash out on different memories of control, but I was left exposed and naked. And you beheld me. With fire in your first eye, you beheld me. You taught me where I came from and what I was here for. You beheld me. Your attention is all I need to get by, and that ascension is all I want to get high. We are too fly, not too fly. You my good thing, my one temptation, my hedonistic view of this situation so serious. Accepting this new truth, but not new truth, because see, I knew truth. This thin, warped sense of reality, my eyes barely open, I was tapped on the shoulder. And upon turning, nobody was there. A mental game of hide and seek we began, and no longer able to conceal myself, I went into my shell. And you accepting me as me chose not to coax me out. Because I am woman, I am Yoni, I am the supreme feminine principle of Weee. And you accepting me as me chose not to coax me out. Once the sun caught and held my face to the water and I couldn't breathe, I couldn't conceive, and once I believed that I was deceived, my vision was then clear. And as soon as the coast was clear, I fled from you. I bled from you. Dark, alone, and afraid, I called out your given name. Stealing my breath and stroking my womb, you whispered to me, man is born of a woman. And having no proof with me, I closed my eyes and pushed. Thank you. So next I'm going to bring to the mic is Miss Make Sure Everything Gets Done. She is the heartbeat, the backbone, the secretary, the assistant of Miss Empress T. I'd like to bring to you Miss Kenya Jones.
Peace and love, family. Welcome to He, She, and Them, Restoring of the Black Family. So those out there that's listening, make sure y'all taking notes because this is going to be dynamite. And this is something that we all need. Now, first up is going to be Empress T. And for those who aren't familiar with her, she's a Phoenician here, about 8 years or so. She is the founder of Dynasty Network 1382 Global Radio. She's also a talk show host, a book publisher, a nation-building lecturer, life coach, and so many more. For those of you who isn't familiar with her, you need to get to know her. She is a jewel. I'm her assistant, like Ms. Mocha just stated, and being with her, she has helped cultivate me as well. So I'm pretty sure when she gets up here and start doing her thing, she's going to cultivate some things within you. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce this wonderful woman, this wonderful God. So come on up, introducing Empress T. Give her a hand.
Put my heels back on. I was trying to be tall like Dr. Umar, but that didn't work out too well. As my assistant, who, by the way, doesn't live here, she lives in Wisconsin, and this is our second event. And every time we have an event, she flies here to be by my side, and I'm so thankful to have her. Wow, I'm tired. But this is good. This is our third day. Third day. This is our third day of the event, and we have one more day to go. And those of you who were not here last night missed it, but that's okay. You're going to get a good treat today with Dr. Umar. And we're also going to be tomorrow, like she said, at the Phoenix Center for the Arts. Make sure you come out at 12 o'clock to hear this dynamic speaker, okay? And as my sister told you, I'm from Chicago, Illinois. Tell you a little bit about myself before I get into my lecture. I'm from Chicago, Illinois. I've been here 8 years. And as she said, I am a publisher. I'm a website designer. I'm a web hosting company. Let me see, what else? Talk show host. I have Dynasty Radio Global Network that airs every day on the internet. And let's see, what else am I? You know what I am? I'm a servant. I'm a child of the diaspora. That's what I am. If you don't know what that is, then before you leave here today, you don't know what that is. So thank you all for coming out to this event. We really appreciate it. Now before I get started, let me tell you this. I want to introduce you all to my new book. This came out yesterday. This is fresh off the, what they say, the press. And this is actually the title of this theme today, He, She, and Them. And this was actually called Restoring the Original Family. Not just the black family, the original family. Because the original family was the black family. And so this book goes into, I tried to do a great detail about the family, the structure, how we once operated, and how if we get back to some of those things, we can turn this around. We can become the nation. We are a nation. I heard Dr. Umar say last night, we are a nation within a nation. And for us to get back there, we have to go back and maybe do some things that we used to do, because right now we are not operating in our own culture. We're not operating in our own being. We've actually taken on the culture of other people. And because we've done that, we have made a mess of things. But we can get this back. There's hope. We can get it back. So this book talks about that. And it's very short, 100 pages. I hit it and quit it, like I'm going to do right here today. I'm going to hit it and quit it and get out of Dr. Umar's way, okay? Now, I got my little cards here because I actually haven't spoken in public since about, I think, 2 years. I want to say 2 years. I haven't spoken in public. I used to be a licensed preacher, and I did say used to be. Now I'm working for the people, the black people. And so I haven't been in public since then. And I want to introduce my friend because the last time he saw me speak was at the church, and he came out to hear me speak again. The first time he was here, not here, but the first time he heard me speak, it was a new birthday for me. I was getting rid of some old stuff, and some new stuff was coming in. And so it's happening once again, and he's here, and I want to introduce you all. He's way back there. I told him to come up here. But Ed Smith is he's a former a lot of things, but he's still in the business. But he used to play for the White Sox, I believe, 9 years? 9 years White Sox? Okay. And 6 years football, pro football. He was I'm trying to remember all the stuff. I think he was a 33 Super Bowl. Is that right? Okay. I'm trying to remember. But anyway, he very, very good friend of mine, and he supports me when I come out and speak. So I'm glad that he's here to watch yet another death and another rebirth. Ed, so thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate that. Okay. Now, what I want you to do, because you're going to get some information here today, not just from myself, but also from Dr. Umar. So what I want to tell you to do is to prepare yourself. Have a storage bin within your mind, okay? I'm going to need you to have a storage bin. In this storage bin, there's 3 compartments, okay? The first compartment, I call that the intake compartment. That's the compartment where all the information that you take in, you put it in that compartment, okay? Because you're going to get a lot of things that you're going to hear today, and you may not know what to do with it. That's why I made up this 3 compartment deal, okay? So the first compartment, you're going to take this information in. The second compartment, I call it the holding tank compartment, okay? That's the compartment where the information you take in, you put it in the second part, and then that's where you split up everything. You kind of figure out if you want to keep it, you kind of figure out if you want to get rid of it, you kind of figure out if you want to analyze it, if you want to research it. That's the second compartment, okay? The third compartment, you guessed it, it's the trash can. The third compartment is the trash can department. That's where you get rid of stuff that you don't want to take with you. Be careful about the third part of the compartment, because what happens is a lot of times we as black people, the so-called black people, the autochthonous people, the indigenous people, what we do is we will hear information, and because it doesn't sound like something we have been taught, we throw it immediately into the third compartment. Is that right? I know I've done it. Okay, I guess it's just me. That's okay. It's just me. You immediately throw it into the third compartment, and you don't want to hear it because it goes against what you've been taught. It goes against what you believe. It goes against what you've ever known. And so that third compartment is very dangerous, because you don't want to put anything in that third compartment that can help you, that can free you, that can liberate you. You don't want to do that. And we have a problem of doing that. I hear it all the time on my show. People will call in, and they will hear stuff, and they throw it immediately into the third compartment. And when you do that, you risk not becoming liberated. Our problem is that we don't want to free our minds. We want to hold on to this gravely condition that we have been in as black people. We've been here for a long time. I'm not talking about 300 years. I'm not talking about 400 years. I'm talking about longer than that. We've been here. And it's the family. When I'm talking about family, I'm not talking about just husband and wife. I'm talking about son, daughter, cousin, uncle, the family, brother and sister. My sister that came from Wisconsin, I met her on Facebook. But she's my sister.